Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video here at Tablemon. My mic is not muted this time, which is good. So all the talk is about Lugia, and Sander did lose in top 8 with his deck to toward Lugia, playing Lugia of course. But yeah, I will say that this deck definitely has a very good matchup against Lugia. Like overall, this deck should not be losing to Lugia in general, like at all. Yeah, it's a very favorable matchup. Of course, you can get run out of the game if you draw a little awkwardly in the middle of it or something along those lines. But overall, I think this deck is extremely powerful, and it's all thanks to YVELTAL's Cry of Destruction. Discarding 3 special energy cards from your opponent's Pokemon when their whole strategy is relying on special energies. And this applies to the top 2 decks in the format, or 2 of the top decks in the format, Lugia and Mew. You discard their energies, and then that's going to be essentially game. So YVELTAL, a very powerful card right now, and combined with all these other resources that we'll go through, it becomes incredibly good. So we have Miltank with its Miracle Body ability to prevent damage by attacks from opponent's Pokemon V. That's another way to shield off pressure and create some unwinnable situations depending on what you are up against. We also have Greedent V with the Crunch attack, discarding an energy from a protected Pokemon. This is really good against things like Duraludon VMAX, where you discard their fighting energy and make it a little bit more complicated for them to attack you. We also have Ace Q, which the block phase attack essentially beats out Reggie decks. They're not playing any bosses orders, they're playing Serena, so all you need to do is bench Ace Q, attach to it, and then just search for the wash energy eventually, and then that should be game. The wash energy also prevents damage counter placement from happening through Sableye. So if you manage to make SQ your only Pokemon in play so that they can't play Escape Rope, then Block Phase creates this unwinnable situations for your opponent. Now we do have as well Manaphy to protect their bench, our bench, Fugomugu to draw extra cards, but Radiant Gardevoir is a pretty good card to this deck. The Loving Veil ability reduces by 20 damage the damage that you take from Pokemon V, and that means their Luminion cannot just recycle energies and take KOs with its water attack. So Radiant Gardevoir, a pretty clutch card in the deck in general. Eldegoss as well allows you to recycle supporters, and your goal essentially is to like get Eldegoss, use Happy Match, get Bird Keeper, attach level 2 roll, float up, attack, and then shuffle that back into a deck, and then do that over and over until infinity. That means you can never deck yourself out. If you need to do something different as well in terms of taking out Pidgeot V, also comes into play with its Vanishing Wings ability. You may return this Pokemon to your deck and all cards attached to it if it's on your bench. And by playing the V Pokemon that you do play, this also allows the deck to play 4 Sealstone to be able to grab extra resources at any given point. 7 total energy that all of these Pokemon can use, but especially YVELTAL can use to get rid of energies. The Yell Horn can help in making it so it's awkward for an opponent to attack, namely Duraludon. Then you also have Flannery to disrupt, Sydney to disrupt your opponent's just holding energies in their hand. You're going to attack their hand. If they have them in play, you attack their in play. So really good there. Only 2 copies of Crushing Hammer, not 4. Would love to see 4 in this, but consistency is certainly important. And with Folder's Experiment, you can choose the right cards that you need for a matchup without risking all of your hand as you would with Research. You also have Bird Keeper to switch around. There's no Mewtwo Union, so there's no need for double Peonia, but there is a single copy of Peonia just in case. Lucky Egg can also be useful to help draw extra cards at any given point. So I do think that if Lucky Egg had been an extra draw supporter for Sander, we would be talking of a different result of LAIC. I was watching the game, I was live tweeting it, and Tord very confidently played around the Lucky Egg when Sander was holding like 1 or 2 card hands, and that led to Sander not having enough resources to close out the game. So that's something important to note. So yeah, let's jump into some games. Let's see if we can face Lugia. If you're planning on buying any cards from TCG Player, make sure you use our affiliate link right here in the description of our video to help support the channel. It's the best way to do it, and it's free. Looking for PTGO codes? Photon Store has all the latest sets and promos instantly delivered to your email. You can use Tablemon code when checking out for 5% off. Card Market is Europe's largest online marketplace for Pokemon cards. Whether you're looking for sealed product or singles, vintage or the latest sets, just follow the link in the description to find what you need. This video is sponsored by the Pokemon TCG deck building website PokemonCard.io. I'm gonna start off with YVELTAL against a dark deck. That's not good news. We're gonna start off checking our prize cards. Greedent probably not good against a Moltres that reattaches energies. So I'm thinking, well, dark decks don't really target the bench, so I'm gonna grab the Greedent just in case, but I don't foresee myself using it honestly. Yeah, I don't know exactly what I am up against, but I reckon it's probably not a high special energy deck, so I think having the Snorlax here and just filling up my hand will be good enough to start us off. See what my opponent tries to do, and then maybe Miltank will be the key for us in this match. We'll see. It's all about running your opponent out of resources and getting to like an impossible win condition for them. So we'll see. Maybe trapping something in the active will be the key. Definitely not what you want to see though when playing this deck. Like this deck, it can only play 60 cards, right? So depending on what you're up against, you really have to plan your win condition. But I think it's very telling that my opponent is playing like maybe an Arceus box deck of sorts, but now that that Hoopa has been discarded, that's one less way that they can attack my Miltank. Oranguru is a way, but it's only a 2-hit KO. And if they have a full bench, I could just KO them right back. So there's that. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see what ends up happening right here. Okay, so they are choosing to use the Forest Seal Stone for something else. And as I was saying, like this deck, it can only target a certain amount of decks, you know, with the spaces that it has to choose, okay, these are the 4 most played decks. I'm gonna try and counteract those. If I face off against something else that's really rough and there's nothing I can do about it. So the randomness, especially in the early rounds, is very scary. But if you hit the Lugias, if you hit the Muse, then you're sitting in a very, very good spot. Really do have to wonder what my opponent will end up planning here. What they grabbed, for example, with the Forest Seal Stone, they grabbed something. They haven't played anything yet. They've done Oranguru, they've used Fleet-footed. You have to wonder, like, what did they grab that was so good that they needed it right now? Can't possibly be Crobat for 2, right? Like, that would not make much sense. So I don't know. I truthfully do not know. Did they use Oranguru and then just redraw the card? That's what happened. Yes, that's exactly what happened. Okay. Alright. So I'm generally thinking of using the Crushing Hammer and then using Xylee, just to further delay my opponent. The Sydney could also give me information. So maybe that's what I'll do. Alright, we do hit an Aurora, we do see basic energies though. There's a Galarian Zapdos, there's a boss. I mean, this is where the Greedent could be potentially useful. It also survives the Moltres attack as well, which is really cool. So energy denial is the name of the game, as you'd expect, right? Alright. But it doesn't seem like they'll be able to apply a lot of pressure next turn, which is good. We'll see. I'm a little bit clueless. Like, I don't know what to expect from an opponent. That's certainly not any sort of meta deck that we've seen play lately, so I'm a little bit clueless as to how to approach this. I also sort of want to see a filled up bench so I can go Miltank. That's good. Yeah, there's almost a build a bench with no shred effects. Then their only way to take down Miltank would be Oranguru. Which I can't KO. The maximum damage of Miltank is 100. We wrote on phone. We know they were holding a darkness energy in their hand. And we get RD'd. That's okay. Yeah, like I said, this requires a lot of adaptability. And making sure that you recognize, well, how exactly am I going to win? It could be Ice Q as well. Certainly be Ice Q. There's only basic Pokemon for my opponent, so I could go out of my way to establish the Ice Q here. Ice Q, Ice Q. He also got rid of another Balloon, so Boss's Order stalling could come into play at some point. Do a quick ball, and we're gonna see another Crobat. Okay, so if I get Ace Q going, that's all we need. So I'm thinking that's what I'm gonna focus on right here. See the Aurora, this going to Dark. Moltres. I don't reckon they're gonna be able to escape Ruthless Boss. Like, that would be my first guess. Ooh, they actually do get a KO. So I'm punished for not attaching the Lucky Egg right there. So this is where I think I'm gonna go for the Greedent. Get rid of the other Aurora. Definitely a little bit of a... So... And I can draw cards with Rose Tower. I don't foresee this game going into Eldegoss Loop. And I still have the Pidgeot to prevent deck out, so that's good. I'm gonna grab the Ace Q here. And I will also Rose Tower for 1, okay? Myself the extra HP, and then we will crunch away the Aurora. Alrighty. So block face might be the way I win this match. I mean, I don't know exactly exactly what outs my opponent has or doesn't have. If they go boss here, that would be really, really awkward. They can't KO me though. So if they just attack me, then that's 3 Auroras, I believe. Yeah, the third Aurora gone. This pause might be like, well, let me read that HQ real quick. Let me just double check what that does. Oh, that's what it does? Maybe I'll target it. However, doesn't seem to be the case, at least not yet. And then if my opponent sacrificed the the Oranguru, then Miltank also becomes an option. They are drawing a lot of cards, so they could be digging for the boss to try and take down the Ace Q. I do have 170 HP though. So does that mean I survive here? 2, 4, 6, 8, 12, 14. Yeah, I survived with 10 HP. Oh my gosh. Alright. Boss plus Galar Mine is also another option here. I think that's what I'm gonna do this turn. Boss right here. Draw 1. Okay. Then I'll play the Galar Mine. Bench the Snorlax. And I'm in no rush, right? With me? I'll Icy Snow. Alright, so we are in top deck mode. Nothing I can do about that, really. They do play down the Lost City, and they were just holding the switch card. So the Ice Q option is no longer there, because they did find the boss. That's obviously not ideal. So I think it's now up to Miltank do this job for me. But in the meantime, I'm just gonna use Redent. No, I also had the card. I was going to top pick the card. That really sucks. Alright, so it's gonna come down to getting Miltank to be the only Pokemon in play, basically. I think that's what's it's gonna come down to. The HQ is also fully gone, no matter what, so no getting it back with Silene at any point. I believe they are actually playing Switch card, but I guess it makes sense. This basic only deck, trying to cover all the weaknesses, fighting for Peekable decks, Lightning for Lugia and Palkia, and then Darkness for UV Max, so it sort of makes sense. You are also playing Rena Greninja, that's not really a threat. Miltank, it's such an ineffective attacker. Now the issue is they could just retreat and attack me with the Moltres. If they have any energy, they'll be able to use the ability. Energy switch, interesting. Maybe they're trying to attack with the Zapdos? No. Transfer the energy to Crobat. Then goes for the switch cards. And play the Marnie. I will take that Marnie. That was a really weird choice of switch card plus energy switch. Alright. We get the Forest Seal Stone. We have our mind. The Forest Seal Stone could get me Silene. I mean, not Silene, sorry. Sharon Scare. I was looking at Silene. Alright, they choose to do 70 instead of 190 for some reason. But hey, I will absolutely take it. Okay. So this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna Yell Horn using us both. Then I'm gonna go Forest Seal Stone using Star Alchemy. Grabbing that. I could also Bird Keeper instead of Sharon Scare. I like the Bird Keeper better, probably. Now, getting this out of play, I think is better than, yeah, it's just gonna be overall better. So then we go Sharon Scare, and I can promote you, and then I'll play this. And then I will attach this to you, and I will quite simply draw 3 cards. Now Miltank is my focus. Miltank could get poisoned though by the Crobat. That's gonna be annoying. But feeling good about my chances of winning this game, so generally feeling okay. Alright. So they're down 2 Balloons, they're down 2 Stadiums, and they're down 2 Switch cards. They can't just manually retreat by attaching to the active. 1 more energy. So maybe with a Scoop of Net backed up in decent. They do hit themselves, which is pretty funny. Okay. If I find a Scoop of Net, I'm actually gonna remove the energy. However, I do not find Scoop of Net. Does the Lost Vacuum help in any way, shape, or form? Maybe it does. The Cave of Toughness certainly does. Don't think I want the energy. I only have Ace Q. I am down only 1 energy. What if I use this? If I attack with Gradient again at some point? Yeah, no, never mind. I like the Bird Keeper. Oh, I was already holding up the call. I should have just. Alright. I'm gonna bench the Gardevoir. Yeah, I think I'm gonna quit pull the Gradient now. Just grab Miltank. Bench that, attach that, attach that, and Formalize for 2. Alright, there's the Scoop of Nets. So it's looking good. If my opponent somehow managed to KO the Miltank, I could get it back with Silene as well. As long as I flip 1 hits, right? That's what I would require, but that doesn't seem like a stretch or a big ask, flipping 1 hit. So how does my opponent deal with Miltank? There's 4 prizes, so they have to go to Miltank. Is there plan here? I honestly do not know. They lead with the rank room. They try to attack. They are successful, which is fine. Generally fine. Alright. Not really worried about the rank at this point. I think I'm just gonna scoop up net. There's more lags here. And I could Lucky Act the Gardevoir. I generally don't think I need anything else. Nothing major at least, so we're just gonna route. You know, get on the offensive. Nothing my opponent can do about this. 90 damage. If I need to get the initiative on the rank room, I can say lean for boss. Probably I lean for Eldegoss, actually. That would probably be better. But if you're my opponent, I truly don't know how you win this game at this point. Okay, goes for the research. That gets us closer to deck out situation. They did get rid of another energy switch on right hand research. They do find their 3rd stadium and its training court. So we will be able to retreat now and get energies back. Choose to attach to the Raikou. Maybe not realizing what Miracle Body does. Or not fully at least. So yeah, no need for YVELTAL, but that's it. Okay, my opponent chooses to attack. They do knock themselves out. We're just gonna take these sprites. I don't see any reason why I should do anything else. There's Mana Fee in case I need to protect my bench. There's Tracking Shoes. So all of a sudden, we are threatening game right here. We are absolutely threatening a KO. Alright, there's the attachment on the Raikou. We could see a boss. Not a big deal. Maybe my opponent has an ace in the fold to somehow deal with this Miltank, but I generally can't come up with anything this stage. I don't need to overextend, I don't need to play any cards really. At this point, I just need to be patient. There's a boss, sure. Not a problem. Right now you're not doing enough to KO Radiant Gardevoir. That's 160. Now you are. Right? Sure. Right? That's no problem. You took another prize card. And then what do you do after? Right? Like, what's your plan to win this game? I'm gonna go ahead and Flannery away that and that. Yep, thank you Flannery for doing it automatically for me. That previous 10 damage, if it had been 20, could have come in clutch. You do see the Rotom fall. My opponent's just gonna take a look at the next 5 cards, choose one. I mean, generally, maybe they're playing Echoing Horn. They can go boss and then Echoing Horn. They're down 2 boss absorbers. They could have a 3rd easily in that deck. I would not be surprised. So, yeah. I mean, you can look at the timer though, 12 minutes, so it's been been an odyssey for my opponent, and I think this is something that I really emphasize a lot, especially when I coach people. It's like, sure, my opponent has played, right, and they've played this match, but they're not really getting anywhere closer to winning. They don't have an answer to Miltank, they haven't even tried to attach energy to Oranguru, the only Pokemon that can attack Miltank. It's a 3-hit KO for Oranguru, so it's not even that great. So, like, if you see the Miltank hit the board and you're looking at this board, they could have conceded 4 turns ago, you know? Unless they have a plan, right? right? Generally, unless they have a plan. But I can't fathom what else they could have right here. Like, that Heap of Toughness doesn't change anything, and now they attach energy to their rank. Now they're finally realizing it, but they have 4 cards left in their deck. 9 total resources left for them to access. Even less now, because they're Marnie. So now they can't reshuffle cards back into their deck. Well, it's one less way, rather. And they drew an extra card, so that's the 3rd Marnie. They're getting closer themselves to decking themselves out. It's really just, I don't know. And everyone retreats, and it's like, sure, I'm not taking any prize cards, but I'm not interested in taking prize. And they're choosing to use Fleet Food. I truthfully do not understand. I'm just gonna pass, see what they do. Don't need to do anything else. I can't imagine what they could possibly do here. I really can't. We see 5, well, 4 basic energy in play, 2 more there. That's 6 darks, 4 Aurora. I'm not sure, maybe 8 dark. 8 to 9 dark would be what I would want to see there. But based on everything else that they've had, or they've played, I don't know if they even have that. Losing another attachment, like I said, Oranguru does 70, right? So 70, I attack them. 70, I'm at 140, I attack them, and then that's game. And there's a research, so yeah. They realize it's absolutely game over. Nothing left to do for my opponent. They're just clicking. You know, they are just clicking, so essentially wasting both of our times. And there we have it. Yeah, so not just like if you're trying to get better at the game, yeah, there's like playing casually is completely fine, right? But I feel like my channel should be attracting a lot of people that want to get better at the game, right? Want to get good results. So it's not just about playing. You want to like try to win, you know? All right, let's jump into another match. Here we go. Next game. Umbreon. No Lugia. Apparently my internal PTCG ranking is not very high. It could be Lugia Umbreon, honestly. Lugia Umbreon doesn't sound bad by any means. You get the dark type coverage against Mew VMAX, and then you get the Ghost effects, right? So you get Marnie plus Ghost, Research plus Ghost, and you don't rely only on Boss's Orders or Serena. So, you never know. I hope it is, because then that means my YVELTAL actually can do stuff. But we see Galarmine and Boss's Order, so it's more likely to be Eternatus, maybe. There we have it. Yeah. Here we have the Eternatus. So HQ not going to be important. That Wash Energy is going to be pretty useless right here. I do want to get rid of that. Flannery could come in useful, but we don't know. So I think we have a very easy turn here. We just grab the Snorlax, bench that, bench the Garde War. We're probably looking at a Milk Tank game once again, but we're gonna start with drawing cards for now. I think we're looking at a Milk Tank game again. Or a Boss plus Galarmine at some point. Now, I will say, I am very surprised that this deck isn't running the Pokemon Go block Snorlax. I feel like that would be a really cool card to have here. Because not a lot of decks are playing switching cards, so that could just be another way. Like, Lost Zone decks are playing a lot of switch cards, but outside of that, barely anything is playing Lost Zone. Seeing this, I generally think it might be Miltank. No energy for my opponent is really good, of course. I haven't seen any sort of like wheezing or anything. Because my opponent's not getting the Snorlax right here, then I am fairly safe at this stage. Alright, did get Bird Keeper, but I don't think I'm gonna be using that right now. Gonna bench the YVELTAL, play this. Gonna go Sydney, see what's in there. Oh, Flannery. Instance and a turn two. So my opponent's actually also dead drawing right now. Flannery, they're playing Flannery and Galar Mine for some reason. That makes not a lot of sense, but hey, here we are. They did top deck something useful. I thought it was a Marnie, but never mind. They had an Evolution Incense, which they're also not playing, so they're not improving their top decks. I really have to wonder if going on the offensive here is the way to go. Like just going for mill deck right now and attacking. I don't see why not. I truthfully do not see why I wouldn't do that. So let's just go ahead and grab the mill tank. That might prompt an auto concession as well, which I wouldn't mind. So I have time to record a different video. Get my bird keeper into the mill tank. Pretty good. And then we're gonna route for 90, but potential for so much more damage thanks to Eternatus. I do have Silene to get back the mill tank potentially. I could be using Eldegoss's float up here and there, but alright, my opponent chooses to switch and did find the energy finally. So okay, Flannery. I mean, sure. Remove my energy so I can't attack you. But alright, definitely keeping you, definitely grabbing you, and I mean the gradient might have some use later on down the line, you never know. So yeah, just do this and let's route. A little bit of damage. Like, sure, what are you gonna do? Remove my energy, I have 7 more. You can also get them back with Silene. You can poison me, but you're not even trying. You're gonna go Incense for VMAX to take a prize card. The Carnivore maybe on the Snorlax, but it's one thing, it's the exact same situation as the previous game. And like, it's not even about the matchup, it's about thinking about winning. Really trying your hardest to get the win, which my opponents are not doing. So we do the Radiant Carnivore. Is that even a KO? Yeah. Just enough. Just enough. Which is fine. Yeah. I'm content winning on prize cards here. Very content winning prize cards. Rush. Maybe I should be thinning a little bit with the Colress. And yeah, my opponent just like they're just adding damage for me. Sure, why not? Let's go ahead and keep some of their resources just in case I ever need to do the Eldegoss loop at any point. But yeah, now they're just adding to my damage output by benching that Moltres, which serves absolutely zero purpose. And like, what are they planning? Are they just hoping that I'll make a mistake? Is that really the plan? Sure. Sure. Just round. Take 3 prizes. Apparently I'm an offensive deck. And like I mentioned, it's generally besides the point on whether my opponent having an answer to mill tank or not. If you don't have an answer, move on to the next game. If you do have an answer, right, there. But like just pointlessly playing cards, I don't know. I really don't. I don't know. I have a different vision of playing. I'm very competitive, and I'm always thinking about how do I win, and trying to answer that question. If I can't find an answer to the question, boop, on to next. Yeah, no reason to waste my time, waste my opponent's time, and especially at regionals where you probably want to avoid tying, then it's a really good trade to have. But yeah, that's it for Sanders deck. We didn't get to play against Lugia. I've been thinking a lot about this, especially after this video right here. I might go out of my way to try and find people to record with me specific matchups, like so that we can have more interesting games. Like maybe it ends up being one game video, but it actually ends up being a close one against someone that is playing a meta deck, rather than having 2 matches where obviously neither deck is very meta relevant, right? So let me know your thoughts in the comment section if that's something that you'd like to see. It would require more time from you, of course, but if more people are going to be watching, then I would definitely consider it. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.